The Diaspora Directorate of the APC Presidential Campaign Council has resolved to mobilize all efforts towards realizing Tinubu's presidential ambition. After a meeting of diasporans in Abuja, the director of the directorate, Adeomole, said that they have a strategy of galvanizing votes even though the law does not allow them to vote.
And here today we have a number of Nigerians living in the diaspora that are actually here in Abuja already. And we thought it would be nice to have them come around the table so that we can jojo on the way forward and how we're actually going to market Asiwaju to fellow Nigerians in the diaspora when the manifesto is actually out.
The diasporas are eager, they are 100% in support of Bola Ahmed Tinubu's presidential campaign race.
So to say, we need to reach out to all clans in every area, every corner across the globe, diaspora, grassroots, home, abroad, sensitize the youth, the grassroots, concentrate on them, make sure that we reach out to the youth and also sell Asiwaju to them as a product.
Oyo State Governor Seyi Makinde has been speaking on why he was conspicuously absent from the flag-off of the PDP presidential campaign in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State earlier in the week. Makinde says he was busy campaigning to win votes in his home state as part of his re-election strategy. He was one of 5 governors, including Rivers Governor Nyesom Wike, who did not attend the event in an alleged protest over the continued stay of Iyorchia Ayu as the party's national chairman.
I've been busy at home in Oyo State, campaigning for everybody. So Uyo is not where I need to pull the votes together. It's in Oyo, so I stayed in Oyo.
The governor of Oyo State there, Seyi Makinde. Now, one of the spokespersons for the Atiku Okowa Presidential Campaign Council, Kola Logbondiyan, says unlike other presidential candidates, the PDP flag bearer Atiku Abubakar is not a learner on the job. He says the anguish and pain Nigerians are experiencing under the APC will cease when Atiku becomes Nigeria's president. Ologbondiyan noted that the crowd that attended the party's presidential campaign flag-off in Uyo and other venues is an indication of the approval of the Atiku Okowa presidency in the build-up to the election.
Well, let's continue our build-up now to the 2023 general elections as Felix Morka, National Publicity Secretary of Progressives Congress, and Dr. Pedro Obaseki, spokesman at Atiku Presidential Campaign, join us now on the news. Thank you both gentlemen for being on the news tonight. We do appreciate your time. Let me begin with you, Mr. Morka, and your campaign council, Presidential Campaign Council, seems to be the problem of all the political parties, the major frontrunners this time around. For your party, it seems to be dragging. You had a meeting today. Do you now have a time where you flag off your campaign council? And why is it dragging?
Thank you so much for having me. No, our program is not dragging. We're taking our time to put our processes together. Today, for example, we had a very unified meeting of our major stakeholders, our critical stakeholders, the National Working Committee of our party, the Progressive Governors, the Presidential Campaign Council, with the presidential candidates, Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu in attendance, his vice candidate in attendance as well, to deliberate and review our manifesto, which was discussed today. And at the end of the discussion, all of the stakeholders who were present were, completely impressed and happy and excited about this vision that we have, put together to interest Nigerians to support our party. At the end of which discussion, we again put together a committee that's supposed to review and fine-tune and just pull all the strands together, and then to appoint a date to launch that manifesto as a precursor to the inauguration of both the council as well as the flag off of our campaign. make no mistake, I mean, we're just taking a bit of time, which for a party as large as we are, I think we're entitled to take just a bit of a moment to, ensure that all of the systems are harmonized and are in place to get this done.
All right, let's bring in Don Pedro Obaseki, one of the spokespersons of the PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar. Don, I'm sure you have something to say about what Keyamo said in an earlier report that, the APC is not like other parties that he describes as kick and start. And now, the other parties, the APC and, whichever party you want to mention, they're playing up on the fact that 5 governors of your own party were not, involved in the inauguration of the Presidential Campaign Council. I wonder what your thoughts are.
I think I will start with the first one, the kick and start. A party that is just a few months away from the election, when campaigns have officially started, does not yet have a manifesto, that is a Bole Kaja party. So when he says kick and start, I think it's just by reverse osmosis. He was actually referring to himself or to the APC, because it is actually a misnomer that any party in a nation that has been going through this greed and grind for the last 7+ years, and you want to rescue Nigerians from yourselves. Nigerians need to be rescued from the APC. And when they promised change, they gave us a palace exchange. They give us kobo. When you pay them for money, they will give you change. And then they said next level. And the next level took us 5-6 decades backwards. Now, they don't know what to caption the next agenda they want to put before the nation. So what they are doing is fishing. They throw their hook in the sea and hoping by the grace of the Lord Jesus, they catch some hook and fish. So let's put that aside. As for the governors, I don't want to come here and start telling Nigerians sophist stories. It is public knowledge that a few of the governors have an axe to grind, and it is also public knowledge that the party and the presidential candidate, who is my direct principal, have decided to go all the way out to assuade them. You see, even within a family, even within siblings of same parentage, you may still find some disagreements. But the election is still a long way off. And I can tell you, you can notice you just play the up sound of His Excellency Makinde, Governor of Oyo State. And he had just told you, I was busy campaigning to garner votes for everybody. And I want to take that as a man, a gentleman, a man who knows his onions, and I think I can take his words to the bank. So for whatever reasons they did not turn up, I don't want to profile any reason. There's no act here to tell the mind's design on the face. I know they wicked mind. I know they anybody mind. So I know they have their reasons. But as that in any way truncated the forward movement of the PDP as an election machinery to wrestle power from a most draconian, almost debilitating, one leg on our head APC, I will say not at all. That was shown clear colors, and Arise TV just broadcasted it a few moments ago.
All right, Mr. Morka, I know you might have reactions to that, but let me ask you, because it's not just the campaign council that has been controversial in your party. There's also been an issue with the manifesto. How different, or let me say, is the Bola Tinubu campaign manifesto any different from that of the Buhari administration? If yes, how different?
Thank you very much. Before I respond to your question, my dear friend just approbated and reprobated at the same time. He, on the one hand, said that we were already in the thick of the election and that the APC was yet to officially unveil its manifesto. And on the other hand, he says, in their party, there's plenty of time. Look, listen, we cannot just, make a fuss of this. But the fact of the matter is that we are a political party and we will proceed to set our own agenda and accomplish the agenda by ourselves. We're not.
Have that agenda already,
Yes.
and like was asked, how is it going to be different from the Buhari agenda? As a matter of fact, some are saying that maybe the APC is not bold enough to run on the records of the APC in the last 7 years.
Look, we are very, very, excited about the records of this administration, the APC administration in the country, the President Muhammadu Buhari administration. This government has done an enormous amount of work and has accomplished a whole lot. The record speaks for itself. Like any government anywhere in the world, this campaign of our candidate, we build on the finest record of this administration. And where this administration has stopped, this candidate is envisioning a program to build upon that and then to innovate and optimize on all the sectors where this government may not have accomplished all of its own set targets.
So is it the same manifesto?
No, I can't go into the details of the manifesto, which, we are going to allow our candidate to unveil a manifesto in a few days. But I can assure you that this manifesto that we reviewed today is not only creative, it is fundamentally innovative in seeking new ways to build upon not just the record of time, but to break new grounds in all of the sectors of our country, from the economy to national security, to education, to healthcare, to wealth creation, to poverty alleviation. In all of those thematic areas, this manifesto, as I'm sure Nigerians will agree when it's unveiled, is seeking to turn the corner, to take us in a direction that many of us may not even have imagined. But I think that I'm going to hold the best and save the best for last and leave it to our candidate to unveil in the coming days. We
can't wait to hear what the APC or presidential candidates will have in that manifesto. Let me bring you back in, Don Pedro Obaseki. Well, the presidential candidate
of having a connection problem.
Oh, we have issues. Okay, so let's stay with Mr. Morka then,
which is fine.
And let's talk about yes. I mean, you've in a very nice way put it that yes, it's really not in your place to put out the Bola Tinubu manifesto, but in specific terms, what kind of Nigeria does the APC want to achieve come 2023 and beyond? What exactly is that vision that the APC has? And come to think of it, is the APC on the driver's seat of this campaign, or is it the presidential candidate who is deciding the direction that he wants to take Nigeria to?
Well, the candidate is a candidate of the APC. I don't see, we have a seamless, highly integrated model for candidacy. We have a political party of which our candidate is, the lead. So we are working in very collaborative, in highly integrated fashion to put out, our thoughts and our vision and our mission to get Nigeria to where Nigeria needs to be. We are not, in any way hamstrung by the manifesto of this current government. Like I said, we are looking at it in a very creative, in a very dynamic way, as dictated by, new information, new knowledge, new commitment, new passion, to unleash all of the potential, not just in the economic sector, but in all of the other sectors, national security to education to healthcare, to all of them. When this manifesto is released, eventually, I am sure that we're going to have a lot of talking to do to break in.
Yeah, yes. Holding on tight to that manifesto.
Absolutely.
We'll keep our fingers crossed. But let us bring back Dr. Pedro Obaseki, who is the presidential media consultant to the PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar. Sorry about that connection problem. Glad to have you back. Let me ask you, around your manifesto as well, a lot of people say the PDP is not saying anything new. You're not creative about your messaging to Nigerians at this time. What are you selling to Nigerians really? Good roads, electricity. It's the same thing we keep hearing. Why should they go for PDP? I mean, all the parties are telling them the same thing.
Maybe because almost all the parties know what the problem is with Nigeria except the APC. That is just the truth. You see, I didn't hear a lot of the things that my brother said earlier, my Bendel Midwest brother said earlier, but I listened to his reply in this second one and I just shake my head. There is nothing new. Now, for the PDP, it is definite and issue-based. That is why Atiku Abubakar came up with my covenant with Nigerians. It's a contract. It's both a spiritual, economic, and even a psychosomatic contract. Something that you can look at and you find yourself in every page of it. So this is why when I hear you say same old thing, good roads, there are no roads. So if somebody says good roads, let me give you an example. Today I flew in from Benin to Abuja, and today the Niger Bridge, I will give you the picture after this, from the air, the Niger Bridge is half submerged in the river Niger. Today in Abuja, there is no fuel because there are no roads to carry the fuel from the south to the north. What Atiku has done is look at a pragmatic approach at the problems of Nigeria. There is a major component there, and that is tangential to Nigeria moving forward, and that is restructuring. He mentioned it clearly. It's one of the 5 points on the agenda. The restructuring of Nigeria to take it from this unitary system with a federal face mask and make it a truly federal system with its proper devolution of powers. That is clear. Now, when you talk about what is new, maybe what we should do is just put the Nigeria and take it at least better to where the APC found it before they took us to Neverland and back to primitive times. These are real. Any Nigerian who lives in this country, where in 2015, this country was calibrated to have been the largest economy in Africa. Today we are in the doldrums. If we were in this country, when in 2015 it was 187 naira to a dollar, when the APC promised us in gigantic billboards that they would take us back to a parity of 1 to 1, 1 naira to $1. Today we are approaching 1,000 to a dollar. So we cannot, you see, the propensity to lie has become almost synonymous.
Well, that may be an unfair word to use when you say lie.
Let me
say misrepresent or something else. But
let me withdraw that quickly in the public domain. I withdraw that. But it will be funny now for the APC to make a vote of us. The APC
let me allow the spokesman of the APC to have a final word. 30 seconds.
Great. If my friend says that part of the reason we have fuel scarcity in Abuja is that there are no roads, are you suggesting that all the roads that the PDP built in all of 16 years have all collapsed? That's what you're saying. No, meaning that you didn't, please, I didn't interrupt you when you were speaking.
Okay, go ahead.
It just means you didn't build any roads in this country in 16 years. In comparison.
But you've had 7 years to build the roads.
Yes, and we have built a lot of roads. We have built massive, mileage of roads in this country, across the country. The Niger Bridge you're talking about, I don't know where you were flying from or going to, where you saw the Niger Bridge submerged. I haven't read a report about that.
Yes, sir.
And this station, I'm sure, has not broadcast any news about the Niger Bridge being submerged. Don't make things up just to make a point. Fact of the matter is that this country, for 16 years that you were in the saddle, you ruined this country. I don't like to look back, but the fact of the matter is that a lot of what we have been doing is fixing the mess you made. So don't come here to be gleeful about your record. You have no record to show. You know, if you, whatever you say of the APC, more than 80% of it, you know, speaks to the utter incompetence, the gross, you know, mismanagement and profligate use of our, you know, Commonwealth, you know, over 16 years. We are fixing it, and all we're asking is that when we roll out our programs, I am sure Nigerians will not go back to that, you know, to that ruin which you made of our country. We will not go back there. I'm sure the Nigerians are the same people.
You don't
they won't go there.
Years was enough to fix whatever mess the PDP made?
The level of mess that they made is unfixable in 7 years.
Okay.
We have fixed a whole lot of it.
Right.
But,
Right,
you know,
so
we're almost there, and we need just a bit of more time
Well,
to
definitely,
get done. Absolutely.
in our tradition, Arise News will be hosting debates ahead of this election. And then you would have all the time to tell the Nigerian people what you have done, what you have failed to do, and what you will do for them. But we have to thank you both before you turn the news studio to your debate ground.
That's right.
Don Pedro, Obaseki, we do thank you very much for coming on the news, as well as Mr. Felix Morka. We do appreciate the time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.